GALLEGOS. I am an ambassador of the Children's Outdoor Adventure Foundation. I have lupus and I'm here out for a mule deer hunt, and I've got to say, don't think you can't do it, because you can. Well, it started kind of funny because it started with pains in my hands and legs and arms, and nobody would believe me that I'd have these pains. And so I'd have them every day after school. I'd tell them I'm really hurting on my ankle, and my grandma would tell me that I must be fooling around and that I'm worse than an old person. So, and finally, and like it'd come for like 2 minutes and then go away, but it always happened and hurt really bad. So finally, I was going for a cheer competition, and I told my parents that I was really hurting on my wrists. And so they finally took me to the doctor to prove me wrong, and just, I don't know, they just kind of did it just so that I can stop complaining and stuff. It felt like. Right. So when we went to urgent care, it turned out that there was more stuff to it, because they just could tell, and they told me that it was possible that I could have leukemia or cancer. So at that point I didn't know, because I've seen leukemia and cancer at the same time, and it's just scary. My parents drove me to Presbyterian, and they did more tests on me, and they did many tests, and they finally did a kidney biopsy to see what was going on in there, and I was one more stage and I would have had a kidney transplant. So I was pretty close, and there's many things going on at that point, and I'd have to take a lot of treatments, cytoxin treatments, and I'd lose my hair from all that stuff. And so it was just crazy. And then I stayed in the hospital for about a month, just trying to get rid of all this stuff. I had to go on this diet of no sugar, no salts, and no potassium. And so it was really hard, because I'd have like 200 milligrams of sugar per day, and then one day my parents brought home a pizza and I could only have one slice, and they couldn't let me have any more. So it was just too hard. And like the medicine was just disgusting, because I used to take a lot of medicine at that point. And then when I got back from the hospital in late February or early March, it was going to be spring break for my school, and my parents were taking me and my sister out for dinner at this new place where they only served meats and stuff, and then once we were done, I was complaining about a really bad headache, and so I got a Tylenol. I went to sleep, and I went back into the room telling them I really don't feel good, I have a really bad headache. So they told me to sleep in their room, and finally I just got really sick, so I went to the bathroom, threw up, and I called my dad from the bathroom, tell my dad I didn't feel well at all, and my leg and my arms go up randomly, just by themselves, and my dad runs to the bathroom, picks me up, and carries me to the bed, and tells my mom to call the ambulance, and at that point I was going into seizures. So they called the ambulance. When I got to the hospital, I was still having a lot of seizures, and they did as much as they could to take out all these, and it turned out that the disease went into my head. Oh, and the disease is lupus. I never mentioned that. And so it finally stopped, and according to everybody, I had about 7 seizures nonstop. And so finally I woke up, and I had a thing sticking out of my neck, and that's where they had to do all the blood transfusion and stuff. And they basically took out my blood and put new blood in me because of it being so bad, just to get everything out. And I stayed there for another 3-4 months, or not months, weeks. and just I had to miss Easter, and so we finally had an Easter party at the hospital where everybody came and had a party so that I wouldn't have to miss out. And that's about it. And I got out, went back to school, and since then I've had, well, not since then, and after that I had more treatments from home. I finally got done with it in the June of that year, which is, or not June, July of that year, which is surprising because they thought they would have done more. Since then I've been doing a lot better. 2 years ago I had to do some more treatments because I wasn't doing well again, and that was just horrible because at that point I was already in 3 years of remission. Well, not remission, but just 3 years of being quiet. And all of a sudden this happened where I had to get more treatments. I just couldn't take that. I was about ready to lose it because, I don't know. So finally after the treatments it turned out it worked. I was losing my hair again from it again. And so I'd have this guy that would do my hair for me whenever I go to a doctor's appointment. He'd always tell me how thin my hair was, and that wasn't well, but nowadays it's been better, and I've been getting better too, and my doctor always tells me to be normal as possible and that I'm always doing very well, and just never let this take over me, and that's about it. Be strong. And since then it's better. Can you please consider helping the Children Outdoor Adventure Foundation? And remember, anything you do for children is never wasted.